If your dog sleeps next to you every night, don't ignore it. Don't brush it off as a habit. Don't mistake it for convenience. Because when the world goes quiet, when the lights go out, when every sound in the house becomes softer and every shadow becomes longer, your dog makes a choice. And that choice is never random. Sleep is the most vulnerable moment in an animal's life. It is the one moment when the body surrenders, when the eyes close, when instinct has to trust that nothing will strike in the dark. So if your dog curls against your leg, rests at your feet, presses its back against your spine, or waits until you fall asleep before settling beside you, that dog may be telling you something deeper than affection, something older than training, something older than language. It may be saying, in the purest way a dog can say anything, with all my instincts, with all my fear, with everything nature built inside me to survive, I still choose to be most defenseless beside you. And once you understand what that really means, you will never look at your sleeping dog the same way again. Most people think dogs sleep next to them for one simple reason: comfort. The bed is warmer, the blanket is softer, the room feels safer. And yes, sometimes those things are true. But comfort is only the surface. The truth goes much deeper than fabric and temperature. To understand it, you have to step back, far back, into a time before houses, before bedrooms, before soft lamps glowing beside modern beds. Back when survival depended on closeness. Back when canines slept in groups, not just because they liked each other, but because distance could mean death. In the ancient world, sleeping near another living being meant shared warmth, shared awareness, shared protection. One set of ears could miss danger, many could catch it. One body could freeze in the night, several together could survive until dawn. Your dog may live in a home now, with clean water, food in a bowl, and a name spoken with love. But deep in the nervous system, old instincts still whisper. And when night comes, those instincts often ask one quiet question: where is my safe place? If the answer is you, then your dog's sleeping position is not a small thing. It is a confession. The first message your dog may be sending is the simplest, and maybe the most powerful. You are my safest place. Think about that for a second. Not the softest place, not the highest place, not even the warmest place, the safest place. Dogs do not fully sleep beside what they fear. They do not lean their ribs against what makes them uneasy. They do not give up awareness beside something their body does not trust. A dog can sit near anyone. A dog can take a treat from almost anyone. A dog can even play with someone they don't deeply trust. But sleep is different. Sleep is sacred. When a dog sleeps next to you, the body is doing what words cannot, lowering its guard. That soft sigh your dog makes before drifting off, that is not just relaxation. That is surrender. That is a body saying, I don't need to keep fighting the night. I can let go here. And in a world where animals are built to stay alert, that kind of letting go is not casual. It is one of the highest forms of trust a dog can offer. Sometimes you see it most clearly in the smallest movements. The way your dog circles once, maybe twice, before choosing the exact spot against your side. The way they press just enough body weight into you to feel your presence. The way they reposition if you move, not because they are annoyed, but because they want contact again. That tiny touch matters more than most people realize. For many dogs, sleeping with some part of their body against yours is like holding a line to safety. A reminder in the dark. You're here. I'm here. We're together. To us, it may feel sweet. To them, it can feel stabilizing, reassuring, even necessary. And that's why some dogs ignore the beautiful bed you bought them. The expensive cushion across the room cannot compete with what your presence gives them. Your dog is not choosing furniture. Your dog is choosing a feeling. And that feeling is security. But there is another message hidden inside that choice, and it reaches back into history. Sometimes when your dog sleeps next to you, they are saying, you are my pack. We don't always use that word carefully anymore. People throw it around casually, as if it only means hierarchy or control. But for a dog, the deeper meaning of pack is not dominance. It is belonging. It is knowing who your people are. It is staying close when darkness comes. It is resting where familiar breathing and familiar scent remind the nervous system that it is not alone. Across time, the bond between humans and dogs grew stronger not only in daylight, but in shared nights. By firesides, in tents, on wooden floors, in farmhouses, in winter cabins. In lonely places where the presence of a dog beside a sleeping human was not decorative, it was intimate, practical, emotional, even life-giving. That ancient closeness still echoes now. So when your dog leaves the hallway, jumps off the couch, ignores the rug, and comes to sleep next to you instead, that choice may carry an old message wrapped in a modern moment. When the world grows dark, I stay with my own. And here is what makes that message even more emotional. Your dog does not have to do it. If this were only about heat, there are warmer corners. If it were only about softness, there are quieter places. If it were only about habit, many dogs would settle anywhere and sleep just as deeply. But some dogs wait for you. They literally wait. They pace the room until you lie down. They stand beside the bed until you make space. They follow you from one room to another at night, not out of restlessness, but because their body has already decided, I know where I belong when the house goes still. That is not just routine. That is attachment. That is emotional mapping. That is your dog organizing the safest part of the night around your presence. And sometimes, this surprises people, that sleeping next to you may also mean your dog is trying to protect you. Not in a dramatic movie sense, not always with growling or barking or lunging at shadows. More often, it is quiet protection, silent vigilance. Some dogs choose the edge of the bed, the foot of the bed, or the spot nearest the door. Those positions are not accidental. A dog sleeping lightly near the entrance may still be claiming a subtle watch position. Even while resting, many dogs remain more alert to sounds than we are. A shift in the hallway, a strange noise outside, the creak of a door. Long before your brain fully wakes, your dog may already be listening. And if your dog chooses to sleep where they can both stay close to you and monitor the room, the message may be something like this: rest. I'm here too. That is love in a form many people miss because it does not look dramatic. It looks like a curled body and quiet breathing. But inside that stillness, devotion is standing guard. Watch where your dog places itself, and you can often read the emotional sentence more clearly. A dog at your feet may be saying, I'm with you, and I'm on watch. A dog pressed against your back may be saying, I trust you enough to relax completely, but I also need the certainty of your presence. A dog behind your knees may be saying, this is warmth, safety, and belonging all at once. A dog across the doorway may be telling the night, nothing enters this space without me knowing. And a small dog near your pillow may simply be saying, I want to be as close to you as physically possible. None of these positions are meaningless. They are body language written in sleep.
And if your dog chooses you over everyone else in the house, that choice says even more. It may be telling you, out of everyone here, you are my person. That doesn't mean your dog dislikes other family members. It doesn't mean others haven't cared for them. But dogs often form particular nighttime attachments, and those attachments are deeply revealing. During the day, many people share your dog's world. They play, they feed, they pet, they walk past. But when night comes and your dog has to choose the person beside whom it will fully rest, the emotional truth often becomes clearer. The dog chooses the one whose energy feels most grounding, the one whose presence has become a home inside the dog's mind, the one whose movements, scent, tone, and rhythm feel familiar enough to sleep beside without fear. That is not a small preference. That is emotional trust crystallized into a nightly ritual. And if your dog has chosen you like that, you should know, some animals spend their entire lives never feeling secure enough to give that kind of devotion. Hello friends, if you're enjoying this video and you love understanding the silent ways dogs show affection, take a moment right now to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who adores their dog as much as you do. And if you want more videos like this, come back to our channel, because some of the deepest truths about love are the ones animals teach without ever speaking. Now let's keep going, because the next reason your dog sleeps beside you might be the one that breaks your heart in the most beautiful way. Sometimes your dog sleeps next to you because they need reassurance. This is especially true after change, after a move, after a long trip, after a storm, after a loud argument in the house, after a new baby, after a loss, after aging begins to change the body, after the world stops feeling as predictable as it once did. Dogs may not understand events the way humans do, but they absolutely feel disruption. They feel tension in routines, changes in scent, shifts in sound, alterations in your mood, missing people, missing animals, unfamiliar rooms, new neighborhoods, and strange nights. When those things happen, a dog often returns to the one place that feels most emotionally stable: you. So if your dog suddenly starts sleeping much closer after a major life change, the message may not only be, "I love you," it may also be, "I need you near me right now." That is not weakness, that is trust under pressure. That is your dog choosing the one presence that helps the body come down from uncertainty. You see this often with rescue dogs. In the beginning, some of them sleep curled tight, as if their bodies are still waiting for the world to betray them. They choose corners, they startle easily, they sleep lightly. But then something changes over time. Slowly, sometimes almost imperceptibly, they inch closer. First, the same room, then the side of the bed, then the foot of the bed. Then one night, without any ceremony, they sleep pressed against the person who made them feel safe enough to try. That moment is bigger than it looks, because a dog that once had no reason to trust has decided, silently, in sleep, to believe in you. If you have ever been chosen like that by a dog who once knew fear, then you know how overwhelming it feels.